It was past midnight when thunder split the sky open like a scream. Rain hammered the roof of a small cabin tucked deep within the Oregon woods. Inside, Ethan Cole, a rugged single dad in his mid-30s, sat half asleep on the couch, a blanket draped over his young daughter, Lily, who'd fallen asleep waiting for him to finish reading The Little Mermaid. Life hadn't been easy since his wife passed 3 years ago, but peace, fragile and quiet, had finally returned to their lives. That peace shattered with a single sound. Knock. 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 At first, Ethan thought he imagined it. Then it came again, louder, desperate, echoing through the storm. Lily stirred, murmuring in her sleep. Ethan's instincts kicked in. He rose, grabbed the flashlight from the shelf, and crept toward the door. The sound came again, followed by a trembling voice, soft, terrified, soaked in fear. "Please, help me. They'll kill me." Ethan's pulse spiked. He opened the door just a crack. Lightning flashed, illuminating a young woman standing in the rain, drenched to the bone, wearing a torn red dress streaked with mud and blood. Her blonde hair clung to her face, and her eyes, wide and full of panic, locked onto his. In one trembling hand, she clutched a small silver USB drive. "Please," she whispered again, "don't call the police." She stumbled inside before Ethan could stop her, collapsing onto the floor. He quickly shut the door, locking it behind her as another thunderclap roared across the sky. Hey, slow down," he said, kneeling beside her. "You're bleeding." "It's not mine," she murmured, shaking violently. "They'll find me. Please, you have to hide me." Ethan hesitated. He had no idea who they were, but the fear in her eyes was real. He'd seen it once before, in his own mirror after his wife's accident. "Okay," he said finally. "You're safe here. No one's going to hurt you." He wrapped her in a blanket and led her to the small couch. The lamplight revealed her face more clearly. She was young, maybe mid-20s, but her expression carried the weight of a lifetime. "My name's Ethan," he said quietly. "And you are?" She hesitated before answering. "Clara. Clara Jennings." The name hit him like a memory. Jennings, the billionaire family that owned half the West Coast's shipping empire. He'd seen her face once on a news headline about a charity gala. What on earth was an heiress doing at his cabin, barefoot and bleeding in the middle of nowhere? Before he could ask, Lily's sleepy voice broke the silence. "Daddy? Who's that?" Clara flinched. Ethan turned to see his daughter standing at the hallway's edge, clutching her stuffed bunny. He smiled softly, motioning her back. "It's okay, sweetheart. Just someone who got lost in the storm." As Lily returned to bed, Clara whispered, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring trouble here." Ethan sat across from her. "You want to tell me what kind of trouble we're talking about?" She stared at the USB drive in her hand. "Proof," she whispered. "Of what my father's company really does. The people they hurt. The money they hide. I was going to expose them, but they found out. My driver was supposed to take me to the FBI. Instead, they tried to kill me." Ethan leaned back, stunned. "You're saying someone's after you because of that?" "Yes. And if they find me here, you and your daughter," she couldn't finish the sentence. Lightning flashed again, illuminating fear in both their eyes. Ethan stood and locked every door, every window. He didn't know if he was protecting her, or walking straight into something deadly, but something deep inside told him she was telling the truth. The night stretched long and heavy. Every creak of the cabin made them tense. Clara dozed on the couch, exhausted, while Ethan sat by the window, a rifle across his lap. His eyes stayed on the tree line, watching shadows shift in the storm. At dawn, Clara stirred awake to the smell of coffee. Ethan handed her a mug. "You can stay here until we figure something out." But if someone's chasing you, I need to know everything. She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. They killed my assistant last night. I watched it happen. I ran. I didn't know where else to go. I remembered reading once, about your wife's accident. How you helped the rescue team find those hikers in the storm. I thought, if anyone would help me, it'd be you. Ethan's throat tightened. He hadn't heard anyone mention that in years. You read that? She nodded. Your story gave me hope once. I thought maybe you could give me that again. For the next few days, Clara stayed hidden in the cabin. Ethan used his old network, friends from his time as a volunteer firefighter, to quietly gather information. Each night, she told him more about the evidence she carried, the corruption buried deep in her family's empire, and the threats she'd faced since deciding to expose them. But as danger closed in, something else began to grow, a fragile bond between two broken souls. Ethan saw in Clara the same strength that once pulled him from grief. And Clara saw in him the kind of kindness she'd never found in her wealthy world. One evening, Lily climbed into Clara's lap, showing her a drawing she made, a rainbow over a cabin, 3 figures holding hands. Clara smiled through tears. That's beautiful, she whispered. That's us, Lily said. Daddy, me, and you. Ethan looked away, his heart aching with emotions he hadn't let himself feel in years. The peace shattered again the next night. Headlights appeared at the end of the dirt road. Ethan's instincts flared. They found us, Clara whispered, panic returning. Ethan grabbed his rifle, motioning her and Lily toward the back door. Go through the woods. Take the trail to the old ranger station. I'll catch up. No, Ethan. Go. She hesitated, then handed him the USB. If I don't make it, promise me you'll show this to the FBI. Don't talk like that, he said, gripping her hand. You're going to make it. They locked eyes, one final moment heavy with everything unspoken. Then she disappeared into the rain. Gunfire echoed through the forest. Ethan fought to protect the 2 people who'd unexpectedly become his family. When it was over, the headlights faded, and sirens rose in the distance, drawn by neighbors who'd heard the shots. Clara was found unconscious but alive, thanks to Ethan's courage. The evidence she carried led to the downfall of her father's corrupt empire. Months later, Clara stood beside Ethan and Lily on the porch of that same cabin, this time under a calm, golden sunrise. Her wounds had healed, and so had something deeper inside both of them. Funny, she said softly, I came here running from my life. But maybe I found it. Ethan smiled, his arm around Lily. Sometimes the people we save end up saving us. The wind carried the scent of pine and promise as they watched the dawn break together, a single dad, a once-lost heiress, and a little girl who saw love long before they did. And in that moment, the world felt safe again.